It's a beautiful day here today in southern Indiana. I'm going to get a little work done out here. I'm gonna finally get these cages up where we had our tomatoes. March is definitely approaching, so I'd like to get out here and get this finished. It's Jeffrey's Christmas tree. I've got my wire cutters here because I'm gonna have to cut some of the cow panel wires that Jeffrey has up. I've done, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 so far. It's pretty fast work because the branches are so dead. It's easy to get out of the cage, and then I'm just cutting the wire that he reinforced the stakes with. I'm cutting those off, so it's going pretty quick. I'm looking here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have about 12 more to go. But like I said, it's quick work. Here is the landscaping fabric we use, so we're going to utilize that again. This area here is where we had greens. I'm trying to think, what did we have at first? No, we had the tomatoes, and then we planted peppers here along where you see the black landscaping fabric, which didn't do very well. And we're probably going to have to try to trim some of that brush along this back fence here, because it's when it starts to bloom, it's too much shade on the plants that we have on that outer edge. But I bought some dirt today, and hopefully I can start a few of my seedlings within the next few days. But you can look here and see that greens are popping up. These are turnip. This right here, those are turnip greens. Now I only have 4 more cages to go. Once I get all the cages down, I'm gonna pack them over to where we store them. I'm gonna see if I can get the stakes up, but If they're a little too hard to get up, then I'll just leave them for Jeffrey. But like I said, I'm making fast work here. We've had really nice weather these past few days, and look, excuse me, at these turnip greens that are trying to come up. I ought to pick me some to stir fry. This whole patch is turning green. The cages, we just kind of stroll along this fence. It looks a little messy, but it works. We have so many cages, and some of the cages, like this spiral one, the newer ones right through there, I have put those within each other. So when you see that pile, it's maybe 2 or 3 in there. But the older ones that have rusted, they're just too big to do that with. But I'm slowly coming along and trying to get this garden cleanup done. Finish my garden cleanup, all that I'm gonna do today. This is the okra here. I don't know how Jeffrey's gonna break this up, because look at those tree trunks. They're the trunks of the okra. They're like tree trunks. They're so sturdy and thick and hard. I can't remember how he got them up last year, but I think it was a chore. But we're almost there, guys. Prepping for this 2026. I'll show you over here where I finished the tomatoes, taking up the cages. Here's the peppers that I took the cages up off these peppers, but I didn't pull the pepper plants up. I had to leave the stakes in the ground. They were just a little too hard to pull up. As you can see here, all the cages are down, but the stakes are still in the ground. Jeffrey will have to get those. They were just a little too hard for me to pull up. I thought I could get them up because it has rained, but no, they're good and sunk into that dirt. But I'm just glad to get this finished. I've been doing this for months now, and finally had it. Had a pretty day, had the time, so thought I'd come out here and get it done. You see that tree over there? That's Jeffrey's Christmas tree. He usually puts it in the garden every year because they get a real tree. He said it helps fertilize the ground. Have stuff all stacked, and bought the rug in here to put the tillers on. It's only probably taken me maybe an hour and a half to get all of this done, but I'm gonna stop for the day. Jeffrey saves his charcoal to help fertilize the garden. That's his cat Oreo. Jeffrey and I are walking through. This is where I cleaned up yesterday, pulled up the cages. Still have to get these stakes out, but they were just so embedded in the ground I couldn't get to them. But Jeffrey and I are discussing where we're going to plant the cabbage and the potatoes. Right here we had tomatoes and peppers. Did we have anything in between? Okay, I couldn't remember. But in the fall, Jeffrey planted greens, so that's the greenery that you all see right here.
It's just going to be potatoes here this year.
Yeah, so he wants to plant potatoes through here. And like I said, this is where we had tomatoes and peppers on that far end by the fence. I'll give you a long view. So all this area where you see greenery, we're going to plant potatoes. Are you going to do sweet potatoes? Try them? Just regular white potatoes.
White and yellow.
White and yellow.
Maybe just one long row instead of 2, because that's a lot.
Whatever you want to do. I think we do need to clean this brush up a little bit.
You going to get started on it?
I can.
I got somebody for that.
And then, like I said, this is where I put the cages.
We had
Yeah.
cabbage here last year.
Cabbage, he's meaning right here we had cabbage.
Between the fabric and the end was cabbage.
And we had 2 rows of cabbage. Or did we have 1 long row?
2.
Yeah, we had 2. Okay, I couldn't remember.
We're gonna do a flip flop and put cabbage.
I don't have the...
Stay with me.
I didn't know you were going to keep walking. Okay, now he's going to show where he wants to, or thinking of putting the cabbage.
Putting the cabbage right here. Maybe 2 rows of cabbage right here where we had the eggplant at last year.
And that's right here where you see the landscaping fabric. And the cabbage and the tomato, or cabbage and potatoes, we will dig those up because we always plant a fall garden of greens. So he tries to decide where we're going to plant stuff where we can dig it up easily and won't disturb anything that's already in the ground that we keep. Because he usually leaves the peppers, eggplant, we usually leave those up, and also the okra.
So maybe put tomatoes right there.
So he's thinking of putting the tomatoes over here where the cabbage were. You can see a little bag there. That's where he's talking about.
If that was the case, if we put the cabbage here, we can put 2 rows of onions next to the cabbage.
Okay. So cabbage here and then 2 rows of onions over this way.
After that, I don't know where we're going to put it. Maybe, I don't know.
And we still have plenty of time to decide, but just trying to get an idea. These greens weren't so small. I would come out here and pick some because I'm going to cook some beans tomorrow and add some greenery to it.
And then what we had. For the okra row, what we done the previous year, the cabbage.
Yeah, the cabbage did really well.
So maybe put the cabbage right here and switch. Put the okra over there.
And we've had okra here before, and it did well over here on this side.
And it really do good by always do good coming off the well.
I know you don't particularly care for pole beans, but I'm going to plant a roll of pole beans too.
You don't know what you're getting into.
Well, I'm going to try it anyway.
And they grow all year.
Well, I'm going to pull them up when it's time to when we pull up the other green beans.
You gotta put sticks. Okay.
I know it. I'm gonna buy some cow panels and some more of those poles, and I'll do it myself. But I want to try some pole beans. You don't like pole beans. Look at those greens.
Those are the, if you notice, the broadleaf didn't come back. The turnips.
Yeah, the turnips look good. Turnips over there as well, where we had the tomatoes, came back.
Mustard are trying to come back.
Nothing like the turnips. But we just wanted to give you a preview of what we're thinking and trying to decide where to plant what, because time is quickly approaching.